This centers on CFIUS, this Committee on Foreign Investments in the United States. How much determinism does the Treasury Secretary have to decide what that committee looks at or what it prizes in its investigations?
You know, CFIUS is an interesting panel. It spreads across a lot of agencies in the administration. DOD is involved, DOJ, you have Commerce also involved, but Treasury Secretary Mnuchin, he is the chair of that panel, so it sits under the purview of the Treasury Secretary. We've heard from Congress members and sources on the Hill that Secretary Mnuchin, along with some other officials and cabinet members, are working closely with Congress because they want the bill that comes out to be something that they can stand behind.
You mentioned working with Congress. You've got Senator John Cornyn and a colleague on the House of Representatives working on this as well. What would they try to codify into law here to change the direction of CFIUS?
You know, they're still hammering out the final details, but what we know is that they are very interested in a system where you have a country-by-country framework where you can single out a short list of countries that pose a higher national security list. Now, right now, they're looking at China, North Korea, Russia, and Iran. It's interesting to see China lumped into a category of other hostile nations where there are some significant sanctions imposed by the U.S. But China is posing some risk to the U.S., and they do want to have some elevated reviews in place.
There were a lot of good feelings, it seemed, out of that initial summit at Mar-a-Lago in Florida when the Chinese president was there meeting with President Trump. How does this fit into or complement the White House's policy toward China? Is it part of it? Is it a departure from it? How do you see it?
You know, I'm not sure that it complements it. I would say that this fits into the Trump administration's tougher stance on any national security risk. Their budget shows that they want to spend a lot more money on military and defense operations. Mnuchin has said over and over again that national security is at the foremost of considerations for CFIUS, and it should remain so. It does not have anything to do with economic benefits or what they could lose out as far as economic benefits that are there from foreign direct investments. But it's an interesting backdrop. They are trying to strike a friendlier tone with China as they renegotiate the trade relationship between the two nations, and at the same time try to get China's help when dealing with some risks from North Korea. This could possibly be used as leverage, but it is something that Senator Cornyn's office has been looking at for quite some time now.